Yeah.
What should somebody do to prevent injury and pain if they're on their feet all day, say for work?
So that actually goes to the whole standing desk idea too. It's a very similar, you try to fix one thing, but you end up with a different issue. When you're standing, it can be just as bad as sitting if you're doing it wrong. The first thing I'll say is that everybody that's listening to this, by the end of this podcast, you should know exactly what your occipital protuberance is, all right? The EOP, external occipital protuberance. Everybody listening, touch the pointy bone right at the back of your skull, right where it meets your neck. And then I want you to take that pointy bone and just lift it behind you. A little bit more. Don't lift it so much that your chin drops, but lift the chin as well, and just take a deep breath right there. That's one of the first things a person can do if foot pain is an issue.
If foot pain is an issue.
Foot pain is an issue, because most foot pains are eventual neuropathies from the sacral nerves. Most people's feet, unless they have a bunion, unless they have a Morton's neuroma, unless they have a structural plantar fasciitis where they literally have stretched the bottom of the foot over its use range, most are neurological referrals from compression at nerve roots coming out of the sacrum. And the dense internal rotation that you learn in foundation training is one of the fastest recipes out of that. I have a foot and ankle pain protocol on FT Streaming, and the first thing you learn is turning the feet towards each other and spreading the toes over and over. Doing the same thing with the hip joints, turning them towards each other and creating an outward expansive anchor that allows the sacral nerves to open. Where they are normally being forward compressed by the hips, they're being opened by the hips now instead. When people think of the term opening your hips, they think of the front, like yoga. Not in foundation training. In foundation training, when you open the hips, it's the hip joints, it's the hip sockets, it's the sacral to hip opening that actually closes the front of the hip, which is usually too open, usually causing foot pain in people. Everything from pronation, letting the feet flatten, to supination, rolling out to the outer edges too far, those all have something to do with it, but much more so, it's a literal communication between the pelvic nerves that surround the sacrum and exit, whether it's the femoral nerve or the sciatic nerve, and exit down, infiltrating and providing neural sensation to the feet. In my experience with neuropathy patients, 90% of our improvement comes from what we do at the top of the neck and the very bottom of the pelvis and spine, where they meet, where they intersect. Those two, like, remember the old wooden snakes? You pull those ends apart, that's what we do at the spine. And no matter what you do at the base of the spine, if you're not pulling the other end away, you're not gonna have the success you could. So even if I'm looking at feet, and I'm talking, we're starting with feet. This is me saying we are starting your entire treatment process at your feet. We're gonna start it at the hip joints, and we're gonna create the best neural environment of flow, lymphatic drainage, and blood flow that we can. And that's taking the pelvis out of its external rotation and neutralizing the hip girdle, neutralizing the muscles that surround the thigh. You do a half slice of a ham, you see all the muscles, that's your thigh. That's what our thighs look like. You want uniform musculature, 360 degrees around that bone. If you look at most people's, they're turned out like this, and they got no muscle on the outside edges. And they got no muscle on the inside edges. They got big quads, and they got tight hamstrings. And that's it. And that's their support structure. That's like 1/2 of your support structure. You're missing your glutes. You're missing the rest of your hamstrings. You're missing your adductors. That's the real human support structure. And that's what we hit. Like, bing, we nail it. With every single movement that we have, we nail it.
Do you think that, because I think most gyms have abductor and adductor machines. Are those what?
That's not how they work.
No?
No, the adductor and abductors are assist muscles. They're helpers, they're assistants. The glute muscles have abduction capacity. They can I always think of it as away body, AB, away from the midline of the body. Abduction, pulling the leg away, that is among the functions of the glute in isolation. But really, with the foot planted, that same adduction, or that same pushing the leg away from you, that same open, becomes planted foot pushing the torso away. And that's a big coupled motion with large glute muscles, large hamstring muscles. Even the calf and soleus and the balancing muscles of the foot are involved in that. But if you're just lifting the leg like a clamshell, that's a piss poor utilization of a very powerful muscle group that doesn't really do that.
Interesting.
From the adductor standpoint, your adductors are a tenderloin muscle. They have an incredibly broad connection, literally up the entire inner thigh. Other muscles have connection at the bottom, connection at the top. They pull those connections together. Not the adductor. The adductor lines the inner femur, the thigh bone. And then at the very top, it has this whole length of the femur converging to this gigantic, powerful tendon that hits the pubic symphysis, and then another junction that wraps behind it. It is the power center of the body. In no way, shape, or form is that designed to do this or that. It's designed to stand us up and pull us up, like that St. Louis arc, like that upward tension. It's a pull you into place so that everything else can move around center. But it's not meant to move away from center. So you're doing this, and it's great. I love the thigh master. I love it. That's great. Strengthen them, man. Strengthen them. But the best way you can strengthen your groin muscles is stand up, put something between your inner thighs or lower calves, and just isometrically squeeze it. Our motocross race, a lot of motocross people love foundation training because it lets them squeeze into the bike so hard. Our anchoring drills change the way people that ride bikes ride bikes. Some of the best in the world claim they've literally worn out their boots because they're anchoring so hard into them against it. And that inward contraction will give you stronger thighs than a million of those adductor machines and abductor machines. That doesn't make you stronger, it makes you toned. Those are different.
Those machines are very popular at the gym.
Well, they're great to look at, man. Like they're goofy, you know. I get the logic, but the logic breaks down the moment you understand that the strength is an integrated process in the body, and compartmentalized motions tend to lean towards individual muscular strength, but throw off overall muscular integrity through the body.
What is the single biggest mistake that people make when trying to fix their posture?
Oh, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Bar none.
Interesting. Sticking their chest out?
Sticking your chest out, faking it. Sticking your chest out like this actually decreases your height. When you straighten your thoracic curve, you get smaller because you're pressing the back edge of the discs to each other. The thoracic curve is warranted it is built as a kyphotic curve, meaning an outward expanse behind you at the pinnacle of that curvature. If you squeeze your shoulder blades together, you're straightening that curve, shortening the distance between all the points, taking the lat muscles out of the equation, taking the chest muscles into a big open expanse that they're actually not very comfortable. They can't pull from there very hard. You're taking yourself out of postural integrity. If you want to do the exact opposite and get the result that you're aiming for with this, all you do is shrug your shoulders up, do it with me, and then pull your shoulder joints apart as far as you can. Just pull them away from each other as far as you can, and just let them settle in that position and let your arms relax. But keep the yes, right there.
Kind of like a lat spread?
It's like a lat spread without the lat spread. So a lat spread is this.
Yeah.
It's initiate the lat spread and then breathe into it. And you're going to feel that it funnels your breath to the upper back chambers of the rib cage. And it sets you up to have buoyant shoulders that ride your breath instead of shoulders that limit your breath.
Do I look like I'm doing it right?
Getting there.
I mean,
just pull the shoulder joints up. It's like, think clavicles pulling straight apart. Don't even do anything else. Just clavicles apart and take a breath through the nose. Right there. That's perfect. Just breathe. Just take a few. In fact, notice if you then add that subtle occipital lift behind you, feel your abdomen participate in the breath in the next one.
Sometimes you hear pretend that you've got a string.
I love the golden string idea. It's perfect.
What is that?
That's from dance. This is like old school, probably like, honestly, probably before the turn of the century of the 1800s, 1900s. Like, this is one of the oldest thoughts in posture, and it's brilliant. Whether it's lifting the string or pushing the book up with your head and balancing a book on your head. Either of those work the exact same way.
Interesting.
The force being provided upward to balance instead of the force being below the neck to catch the weight of the head. That's the difference. It's a 180-degree vector difference. We are used to our shoulders and head being a weight instead of using that force to take weight off the rest of the body.
My posture's always been, I think, suboptimal. It's not terrible, but especially when sitting, like I'm just prone to, my body just wants to find the position of least effort.
Yeah. The work done
most
between is more important than the work during. Meaning, If you want your posture to improve when you're not thinking of it, you have to do postural exercises for about 10 to 20 minutes a day. And then the rest of that day, and each day you kind of repeat that tensioning and strengthening process, you will think less and less about your posture, and all of a sudden, your chest is up, but not because you're doing this, it's because your chest is up, you're taking up space. Your trap muscles really loosen up and your lat muscles take over. The posterior capsule of the shoulder takes over. And that musculature, that process right there, makes it really hard for your head to go forward. Really, all of the muscles that pull your head back are being activated now. The only way to really get your head to go forward is one of two things. Squeeze the shoulder blades together or squeeze the pecs together. Either one of those, your head is going to have to find center. But if you pull the clavicles, the collarbones apart, your head is centered. And it works almost instantly.
Hey, if you liked that video, you need to check out this one here, and I'll see you there.